So today we will study about linear function. Okay. Before going deep into linear function, we will understand here some basic terms like what is equation, what is expression, and what is function. So first of all, we will see what is an equation. Suppose you are having a sign equal to. Okay. Anything on the left hand side of equal to is denoted by LHS, and on the right hand side is denoted by RHS. So whenever you are having an expression of the form LHS equal to RHS, that is an equation. Okay. For example, suppose 3x plus 2 is equal to 4. This is an equation. Okay, because LHS is equal to RHS. I mean, you will have some value of x for which 3x plus 2 will be equal to 4. Okay. Then what is an expression? Suppose you consider anything, 3x plus 5 or 4x square plus 7. Okay. It has no equal to sign. Okay, and it has nothing. You just wrote something. You wrote an expression. This is called an expression. Okay. Then we come to function. So suppose you have anything like 3x square plus 7x plus 2. Whenever you will change the value of x, okay. Whenever you will change the value of x, okay. What will happen? The value of this whole expression will get changed. So we can call it as function of x is equal to 3x square plus 7x plus 2. Or what do you mean? Whenever you change value of x, value of fx will change. So actually, fx is dependent on the value of x. We call this as function of x. Function is a case of simply equation. Okay. So whenever we will draw the graph, we will draw the graph of a linear function. Okay. Or you can call it as graph of linear equation also, because equation is a case of function only. Okay. Now we have studied about equation, expression, and function. So now we will see some standard form of equation of a straight line. Okay. In any linear function represent a straight line in the coordinate plane. Okay. Graph of a linear function is straight line. Okay. So graph of a linear function is, or a linear equation is simply a straight line. Okay. So now we are going to see what are the standard forms of straight line. Okay. Equation of straight lines. As there are many forms, but basically what we require is 3 forms only. So we will focus on only 3 forms. Okay. The first one is y is equal to mx plus c. Some of you might have studied it also. Y equal to mx plus c. Okay. Then the second form is ax plus by is equal to c. Okay. The third form is x by a plus y by b is equal to 1. Okay. So you have 3 different forms here. I know initially the terms may be confusing, what is and what is c, but we will have a look at it. What does the terms here represent? What is and what is c, what is a and b here? Okay. So first of all, here m is called slope or gradient. M is called slope or gradient, and m is equal to tan theta. What is theta here? Suppose you take any line like this. Okay, this is a straight line. So theta is simply the angle made by the line with the x-axis in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, angle made by line with x axis in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, anti-clockwise, opposite the movement of clock. Okay, so you will just start from here and will move in the anti-clockwise direction this way. So this angle will be simply theta. Okay, so slope is what? Tan of this angle, means tan theta here is called the slope. Okay, so when slope will be negative, when slope will be positive. Whenever tan theta is negative, I mean for first quadrant, when the angle is between 0 to 90 degree, tan theta is positive, so slope will be positive. For angle between 90 to 180 degree, when in this range tan theta is negative, so slope will be also negative. Okay, and what is C here? C is simply the y-intercept made by the line. C is simply the y-intercept made by the line. Okay. Now we will see it graphically. What does each of the term actually represents? The graph for this equation is simply in this manner. Suppose m is greater than 0 here and C is okay. For a time being, I am not considering sign of C. Okay. Suppose you draw a graph like this. Okay. What will be the slope here? First you consider that theta. Tan theta is the slope, and tan theta, as you can see, theta is less than 90 degree, na? Because 90 degree is this one, and this angle is less than 90 degree. So theta is less than 90 degree, and the line intersect y-axis here. Okay. So this is the y-intercept made by the line. We call it as C. Okay, so this was M and this was C. So whenever you are given an equation of the form y equal to mx plus c, the graph would look like this. I mean, we have to focus on two basic parts. First one is M and the second one is C. C is simply this distance. Okay, any point lying on this line will satisfy the above equation, and this is true for all the cases. Okay, so now we come to draw the graph of this function. Okay. First we will try to rearrange the function and will try to write this function in this form. Okay. So what you need to do simply Vy equal to C minus A, just I am rearranging it. Okay. So y will be equal to minus Ax by B plus C by B. Okay. So what we have done? We have simply converted this form comparable to this form. Here minus A by B represents M and C by B represents capital C. If you compare this to this form of equation. Okay. Now if you need to plot the graph of this equation, what would you do? Simply just like this only. Okay. So what you need to do here slope was minus A by B. Okay, for a time being I am considering all positive. That is A greater than 0, B greater than 0 and C greater than 0. If A by B is greater than 0, then minus A by B will be less than 0. That means simply slope will be negative. Okay, slope will be negative. And y-intercept is C by B. Okay, so we have considered C greater than 0 and B greater than 0. So C by B will be also positive. Okay, so that means y-intercept will be positive. Okay, so what will we do here? Simply suppose this length is C by B. Okay, and we know that the slope is negative. So tan theta will be greater than 90 degree. So line will be this way. Why this way? Because this angle is greater than 90 degree. This is 90, so obviously this will be greater than 90 degree. Okay, so this is C by B and this is the slope of the angle. M is equal to minus A by B here. Okay, so if you need to plot the graph of this function, what you need to do? You simply need to convert this into form which is comparable to y equal to mx plus c and then plot the graph for it. Okay, then we come to third form. Okay, the third form is quite simple and easy. Here, what does A and B means? A just represents x-intercept, okay, and B represents y-intercept. Okay, drawing the graph of the function which is in this form is the most simple one. Just draw coordinate axis first. Okay, now suppose A is greater than 0 here, B is greater than 0. Okay, so what would be the x-intercept? Simply take here A, and what is y-intercept? Take here B. So how would the line look like? The line would simply look like this. Okay, line would simply look like this. So this will be the equation of the straight line of the form x by a plus y by b equal to 1. Okay, now suppose if a is less than 0, okay, and b is greater than 0, how would the line look like? If a is less than 0, that means a intercept is negative, so a will be somewhere here. Okay, for distinguishing it, I will use the red marker. This will be A and B is greater than 0, so B will be still the same. So the line would look like this one. Okay, similarly you can plot it for A less than 0, B less than 0, or A greater than 0, B less than 0 for the different cases, whatever is possible. So basically the line would look like this only. Okay, now we can do one more operation here. Okay, what we need to do, simply convert this form into this form. I will do it here. We consider from here, we can write it as y by b is equal to 1 minus x by a. Okay, or y is equal to minus b by ax plus b. Okay, if you take this form, then what is slope here? This is comparable to y equal to mx plus c. Slope will be minus b by a and y-intercept will be b only. Okay, now for the first case I have taken a greater than 0 and b greater than 0. So minus b by a will be negative and the y-intercept will be b only. Okay, so if you try to plot its graph, what will you find? Y-intercept is b, which is positive. So this will be b. Okay, and since slope is negative, line would go this way. Okay, because the angle is greater than 90 degree, so the line would look like this. This is the y-intercept, that is b coordinate. Okay, so what we saw, this line and this line is actually the same line. Okay, and you can plot it by any of the method. I mean by following this method also or by following this method also. Okay, so what basic conclusion we can derive from here, that any form of the line can be converted to any different form. Okay, so both of these three forms are interconvertible actually. So whether you want to plot a line through this form, or through this form, you can do it by any method, whichever is suitable for you, according to your convenience only. Okay, so in the next class we will consider some examples and see how to draw graph of those lines.